ISO 9001 and AS9100 are really a build on each other. ISO 9001 is a base quality standard that many different manufacturers can follow, and it doesn't necessarily matter what they're manufacturing or what they're working on. It's kind of a big blanket to cover the entire industry, where AS9100 is specifically towards aerospace. So that's what the AS stands for, is aerospace. So those are for critical components that go onto aircraft or flight vehicles, and really the reason for that is a little bit more protection, a little bit more longevity, so that there is an incident, it is more likely in the aerospace industry that is going to involve loss of life or loss of major property. And so it requires us to keep files longer, to have stricter controls than just a standard ISO 9001 quality management system would be.
Yeah, to further iterate what Derrick was explaining, what are they? AS9100 and ISO 9001 are both quality management systems that focus on a process-based approach for establishing business processes and ensuring customer satisfaction. The difference between the two is ISO 9001 is a globally recognized standard that provides the framework for the business processes to ensure that customer and regulatory requirements are met and continually improved upon. AS9100 is an additional variant on top of the framework of ISO 9001, specifically for the aerospace industry.
AS9100 certification is very critical for those companies in the aerospace and defense industries, because they're looking for the next level of quality and reputation that comes behind that standard. Essentially, because they are in danger of losing life and losing major property and affecting the public in much more ways than a standard manufacturer would be, they are looking for that extra little icing on top. ISO 9001 kind of builds the cake, and AS9100 puts the icing on top of it to make it hold together, make it look better, make it just that extra little bit. And so when those companies in those industries are looking for their manufacturing partners, being able to achieve that AS9100 certification just gives them that extra safety net behind that manufacturer's claims.
As mentioned before, AS9100 is additionally built on top of the framework of the ISO 9001 standard. ISO 9001 is applicable to any industry, a global quality management system that can be applied to any company producing any products or providing any services. AS9100 is an amendment to specifically address the complexity and safety and regulatory demands that the aerospace industry requires.
AS9100 certification, it's a big benefit. I always kind of naturally go towards Chris Farley and Tommy Boy. He has a quote in there about, I can get a good look at a T-bone by sticking my head up the bull's rear end, but I'd rather take the butcher's word for it. Before the ISO and AS standards were existing, you literally had to go to your partner shops and see how they worked and kind of proof them out. Now with these standards in place, the manufacturers that have those can actually look at it and go, hey, I don't need to visit that shop. I at least already know that they're at 90% qualified. And so when they do come in, or when we do have those further conversations, they're just getting that extra 10%, that little bit of clarification that they're wanting on how those standards are run. So it cuts out a lot of the research and development that companies are looking for when they're going for a new manufacturer. They're automatically cutting so many manufacturers off the board because they don't have quality standards that automatically meet their expectations. That AS9100 standard, from the manufacturer standpoint and from the customer standpoint, allows them to check a lot of boxes automatically without having to go through a lengthy qualification process.
AS9100 is in place to address the critical nature of products being produced to the aerospace industry. specifically to ensure the safety and reliability of those products being provided to companies in the aerospace sphere or defense sphere.